So, Trump's first week back in office, and let's just say he wasted no time making headlines. From pulling out of climate deals to shaking up border security and even stirring the pot with AI policies. There's a lot to talk about. Whether you're cheering him on or shaking your head, one thing's for sure, he's making moves. So let's dive into what's been happening and what it could mean for the future. First up, Trump wasted no time pulling the US out of the Paris Climate Agreement again. His reason? He believes it's a bad deal that puts too much pressure on the US economy. According to Trump, the agreement lets other countries off the hook while placing unfair burdens on American businesses and workers. He argues that sticking with the deal would harm key industries like manufacturing and energy, which he sees as vital to economic growth. So what does this move actually mean? Well, for one, expect a stronger push for fossil fuel production. The administration is likely to roll back incentives for renewable energy projects, which could slow the momentum of clean energy initiatives that gained traction in recent years. Oil, gas, and coal industries are expected to benefit, while environmental groups and green energy advocates ain't so thrilled. Internationally, this withdrawal might strain relations with allies who are committed to reducing emissions and tackling climate change collectively. It also raises questions about America's role in future global environmental efforts. Will this move boost jobs or set us back on climate progress? Only time will tell. Quick question, was pulling out of the Paris Agreement a power move or just throwing shade at the planet? Let me know below. Then came the National Emergency Declaration for Border Security. Yep, that means more funds for barriers at the southern border. Trump insists that this is crucial for national security, arguing that it will curb illegal immigration, drug trafficking, and other threats. Supporters see this as a strong stance to fulfill his campaign promises and maintain border integrity. On the other hand, critics aren't holding back. Many argue that the declaration is nothing more than political theater, designed to rally his base rather than address actual border issues. They point out that unauthorized border crossings have been declining in recent years, and they worry about the reallocation of federal funds away from other critical areas. Some state officials have even signaled legal challenges, claiming the move bypasses Congress and undermines the democratic process. And let's be real, we all knew this was coming. Trump has long emphasized border security as a cornerstone of his agenda, and it's clear that he's doubling down on it in his return to office. Now here's where things get really controversial. Pardons for individuals involved in the January 6th Capitol riot. Trump's decision to grant these pardons has reignited fierce debate across the political spectrum. Some of his supporters argue that the individuals were unfairly prosecuted and see the move as a correction of what they consider political persecution. They believe these pardons bring justice and closure to those who were allegedly caught up in the moment rather than engaging in serious wrongdoing. But not everyone sees it that way. Critics, including many lawmakers and legal experts, argue that these pardons set a dangerous precedent, essentially excusing actions that threaten the democratic process. They worry that it sends the wrong message, that political violence can be forgiven if it aligns with the right political narrative. Some are also questioning whether this could embolden further unrest in the future. Regardless of where people stand, one thing's for sure, this decision is turning up the heat on the political divide. Supporters praise it as a bold move to stand by his base, while opponents see it as deeply damaging to American democracy. Does this decision bring closure or open up old wounds? What do you think? Now let's talk tech. Trump's reversing Biden's AI policies and pushing the so-called Stargate initiative. The goal? To make the US a leader in AI innovation while keeping a close eye on foreign competitors. This initiative is being framed as a way to supercharge American technological advancements while ensuring national security concerns are addressed. Tech giants are loving it. They see it as an opportunity for increased funding, fewer regulatory roadblocks, and stronger collaboration with the federal government. The plan aims to prioritize AI research and development, with a focus on applications in defense, cybersecurity, and economic competitiveness. But what does it mean for regulation? That's the big question. Critics worry that deregulating AI development too much could lead to ethical concerns and potential risks, such as misuse of AI technologies or job displacement due to automation. They argue that while innovation is important, there needs to be a balance between progress and responsible oversight. The Stargate initiative could position the U.S. at the forefront of AI, but whether it prioritizes ethics as much as economic gain is yet to be seen. And for all those federal employees enjoying remote work, bad news. Trump's pushing them back to the office, arguing it's time for maximum productivity. He believes that having employees physically present will restore efficiency and accountability that may have been lost during the remote work era. According to Trump, government offices should operate at full capacity, just like they did before the pandemic. But workers? They're not thrilled. Many argue that remote work has actually improved productivity and work-life balance. They point to studies showing higher efficiency, lower commuting stress, and cost savings for both employees and the government. On the flip side, some managers support the move, claiming that in-person collaboration fosters stronger teamwork and faster decision-making. Critics also say forcing employees back could lead to retention issues, with workers seeking private sector jobs that offer more flexibility. Unions are already pushing back, arguing that the shift disregards employee well-being and undermines modern work trends. Say goodbye to pajama Zoom calls, I guess. Trump's also scrapped many of Biden's diversity and inclusion initiatives. He calls it fighting against political correctness, arguing that such policies are unnecessary and create division rather than unity. Trump's administration believes that hiring and promotions should be based solely on merit, without consideration of race, gender, or other identity factors. Critics, however, see it differently. They argue that these initiatives were essential in creating fair opportunities and addressing systemic biases within federal agencies and beyond. Many civil rights organizations have spoken out, claiming this reversal could roll back years of progress in building inclusive workplaces. Federal agencies that had embraced these policies now face uncertainty. Some employees worry that without structured diversity efforts, representation and equity efforts could take a hit. Meanwhile, Trump's supporters see this as a victory against what they call unnecessary bureaucracy and ideological agendas. This one's bound to get people talking as the debate over diversity in the workplace continues. Finally, the TikTok ban put on pause. While national security concerns are still very much on the table, Trump's taking a wait-and-see approach for now. Instead of an outright ban, his administration is likely looking at renegotiating terms with TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, to address data privacy concerns without alienating millions of users. The original argument for banning TikTok was that it posed a security threat by potentially allowing the Chinese government access to American user data. While some lawmakers are still pushing for stricter action, Trump's decision to delay the ban could be a strategic move to secure a better deal, or perhaps avoid backlash from younger voters. For now, Gen Z can breathe a sigh of relief. The app remains operational, influencers can keep their content rolling, and businesses relying on TikTok marketing can continue without disruption. But the big question remains, will TikTok face stricter regulations in the future, or is it safe for good? So Gen Z, you're safe. For now, at least. Predictably, reactions have been all over the place. Trump's supporters are cheering him on, saying he's sticking to his promises and taking decisive action. They argue that his moves on border security, AI, and federal workforce changes show strong leadership and a commitment to America First policies. Many believe these decisions will boost the economy and strengthen national security. Critics, on the other hand, see a chaotic start, claiming that Trump's first week is more about undoing Biden's legacy than creating long-term solutions. Environmental groups are fuming over the Paris Agreement withdrawal. Civil rights advocates are alarmed by the diversity rollbacks, and federal employees are bracing for tough adjustments ahead. The media? Well, they're having a field day. News outlets across the spectrum are covering every executive order, with some praising Trump's boldness while others warn of potential consequences. Social media is buzzing too. with debates raging over whether these moves are necessary corrections or reckless disruptions. As always, Trump's presidency is off to a polarizing start, loved by some, loathed by others, and covered endlessly by the media. And that's a wrap on Trump's action-packed first week back in office. Bold decisions, big reactions. It's clear this is just the start of something major. What's your take? Game-changing or a step too far? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more hot takes and political drama, hit that like button and subscribe, because this ride is far from over.